Hi guys, today we're going to do the handkerchief pocket. So I prepare a plan for you to see the pieces and also to indicate the punch holes and the angle of the pocket, the handkerchief pocket. So we're going to mark the punch hole and also a millimeter inside for the angle on each side of the handkerchief pocket. So here's the fabric piece, the main fabric piece. I trace the line connecting the two punch holes, and I also mark a millimeter inside the point, the final point for the sewing in direction of my pocket, so following the grain line on both sides, a millimeter inside. So that's my main piece. I'm going to have my welt or handkerchief pocket in angle. I'm going to have the small pocket bag in lining and the big pocket bag in self fabric that is about 1.4 bigger than the lining, because we're taking seam at 0.7, so 1.4 difference. Okay, so first we're going to start with the welt. You're going to take your piece, fold it right side with right side, and you're going to assemble both edges at 1 centimeter. And the other side. Then what we're going to do, we're going to turn it around and press it. The corner that is pointy outside, you're going to have to cut a bit the corner, remove like a triangle to be able to fold it. So when you turn it, nothing should come out. You turn it and we'll go press it. Okay, so the next step is going to be to assemble the welt with the garment. So if you have a little excess, you could cut it. So we're going to place the welt, good side of the welt with good side of the garment, and you're going to place it centered. So you're going to have a centimeter on each side of the welt. 1 centimeter on each side, and you're going to start sewing right at the beginning at 0.7. The next seam is going to be to take your big pocket bag and place it on top. Make sure you're putting it in the right angle. You just check to make sure that when you turn it down, it's going to be aligned with the grain line. So we center the piece and you assemble using the little reference that you got from the beginning. Little reference from the plan. You should not go any further than that reference if you want to make sure that your seam won't show from the outside. A millimeter inside is okay, but not outside. And you're sewing at 0.7 again, until the little reference that you got on the other side. Again, a millimeter smaller is okay, but not any bigger. You're going to fold and cut the bottom piece. So not the welt, not the pocket bag, you're gonna cut exactly on the first line that you trace, all the way to the punch hole. Lift the corner and cut to the last point you did, top and bottom, to get your little ducktail. Same thing on the other side, so I'm continuing to cut right on my middle line till the punch hole, so about 1 centimeter before, and to the last point. To the last point. Okay, so after you check if everything is okay on the right side, you cut your opening. You're going to put your lining over the welt, align with the top lining, and make sure again they're going to match. So it's possible that you have to move a little bit to make sure that after they're sewn, they're aligned. And you're going to sew again exactly on the same seam. So you put your reference. You could feel the thickness also because you have the welt under. Exactly at the same place. If you have to go half a stitch at the end, you better do half a stitch. Then you turn all your piece inside. The big pocket bag and the small pocket bag inside. And you're gonna go understitch. So they're both inside like that with the lining. You're gonna go understitch on the lining with the seam allowance. So this is my lining. I'm gonna go on the right side of the lining and understitch. Next step is going to be to go press your seam of the bottom seam, the seam of the welt. You're going to go press it, and then we'll tack the dovetail. Okay, so the last step, no, almost the last step, is going to be to close the pocket bag and tack the dovetail. So to do your dovetail, you're going to push the dovetail inside. For this side here, you have to fold your welt to be able to go sew your dovetail. Should turn it in. Little dovetail is right here. So I'm going to tack my dovetail. So you just pull for the angle and you sew the dovetail in place. Same thing for the other side. The other side you have nothing to fold. You push the dovetail inside. You lift the fabric. Very small. You see a little dovetail over here, and you stitch it down. when this is done, you go all around and sew at 1 centimeter, even if again I did put 2 centimeters seam allowance on the side, you're sewing at 1. If they don't match perfectly, you don't pull on anything, you just go around the smallest one. Handkerchief is now done. The pocket is functional. The last thing you have to do, I would say there's 2 ways to do it. You could do it from the top, so we have to hold this down. So you could do it by the top. It's a little more sport look because it's a top stitch outside, or you sew it from the inside, folding and stitching it from the inside by hand. So I'm gonna do the outside one on one side, and it's up to you depending on the quality of the garment. So if you are doing it from the outside, just make sure on top you're keeping an extra 2 millimeter to be able to get into your pocket. So from the right position, you just move the top part 1 millimeter inside, and you could stitch it on top. So that's a little more sporty, but if you have the same color thread, it doesn't really show. Like I was saying, the other way is from the inside, so you would push the corner 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter inside, and stitch it from the inside. So nothing would show. And it's holding also. Thank you. You're done.